What if your last bus ride home wasn't just late, but accompanied? Imagine the chilling stories of commuters whose late-night journeys became encounters with the unexplained. What if the shadow you saw in the aisle wasn't just your imagination? Prepare to hear confessions that will make you think twice about catching the midnight bus. One rider, a college student named Rena, recalls her experience as if it happened yesterday. She had taken the last bus from downtown after a late study session. The bus was nearly empty, with only a few scattered passengers. She slid into her usual seat by the window, plugging in her earphones. A few stops later, a man boarded. He looked like any other passenger, mid-30s, worn coat, tired eyes. He sat down across from her, and after a few minutes, struck up a conversation. He asked where she studied, what she was majoring in, and even laughed softly at one of her half-asleep jokes. Rena remembers feeling strangely comfortable. In the emptiness of the bus, having someone to chat with felt grounding. But then, she blinked. Literally, just blinked, and he was gone. She thought maybe he had gotten up and moved to another seat, but no one else was there. The doors hadn't opened. The driver confirmed nobody had gotten off. His seat was completely empty, as if he'd never existed at all. What froze her blood was what she noticed next. The seat where he sat was still warm. For the rest of the ride, Rena couldn't bring herself to look at that seat again. She said the bus felt colder than ice, as though something unseen was watching her. Even today, she avoids late-night buses whenever she can. The next time you board that late bus, look twice at the empty seat beside you. You never know who or what might be riding along. Because sometimes the scariest part of the ride isn't getting home late. It's realizing you were never the only one there. It was nearly midnight when Daniel boarded the last bus home. The city was silent, streets washed in orange streetlight, and the bus was nearly empty. He chose a seat near the back, leaned against the window, and let the dull hum of the engine lull him. A few minutes into the ride, the PA system crackled. Next stop, Harper Street. Daniel frowned. Harper Street wasn't on this route anymore. It had been renamed years ago after an accident at the intersection. He thought it might be a glitch. But then, 5 minutes later, next stop, Harper Street. The bus hadn't stopped. The driver gave no reaction. The other two passengers didn't move. Daniel felt his skin crawl. He leaned forward, watching the driver, but the man just stared straight ahead as if he hadn't heard a thing. Next stop, Harper Street. Daniel's chest tightened. He knew Harper Street. That's where a city bus once overturned late at night, killing everyone on board. He'd heard whispers that the victims still lingered, waiting for their ride home. When the announcement came a fourth time, Daniel noticed something chilling. Every time the voice spoke, the empty seats in front of him looked less empty. Shapes flickered, Shadows deepened. For a second, he swore he saw pale faces staring back at him. He rang the bell and stumbled off at the next stop, vowing never to take that bus again. But sometimes, when he dreams, he still hears it. Next stop, Harper Street. When you really think about it, buses are liminal spaces, places between destinations. And in those in-between hours of the night, maybe it's not just tired passengers who step aboard. Maybe something else rides with us, blending in, only to vanish when we look too closely. The most chilling moments are always the simplest. The warm seat with no one sitting in it. The fleeting conversation with someone who shouldn't have been there. The sense that you are never truly alone. So, what do you think was really happening on these midnight rides? Is it just sleep deprivation and tired minds playing tricks? Or are there passengers who ride with us, unseen, existing somewhere between the living and the dead? Have you ever experienced anything like this on your late-night ride? Maybe a glance in the reflection of the window that wasn't your own. Or a figure that seemed there one moment and gone the next. Share your stories in the comments. I'd love to know if others have felt the same eerie presence when the city falls silent.